Welcome to Acute Mania Live. That was powerful, right?
Not bad. Not bad.
No, that was good. I thought that was good. I'm echoing. Somebody has YouTube up on and their volume is up. Is that you, Josh? No,
I don't have YouTube going now.
Okay, maybe it's me then. It's not you. It's me. Anyway, I'm just gonna continue. So Matt, it was you, wasn't it? It was. I saw you change something.
I muted everything just to be sure. But
it
was already muted.
It's okay. It's okay. No, Matt Miller's with me, co-hosting tonight. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you.
Matt's from Crimson Throne. I have to say that because I said it wrong when Crimson Throne was on the show. I said Crimson Thorn because I said something different before I even said that, right? Because I corrected myself and then I said Crimson Thorn Welcome or something like that, right?
Just go with Red Chair from now on. You'll be good.
Red Chair, yeah, Red Chair works also. Yeah.
Red Chair.
Yeah. Or Fuchsia wouldn't be Fuchsia anyway. Okay, Josh is in Modesto, California, with the Obsidian Resurrection, and we got a lot to talk about with the band. The band is awesome. The music is terrific, and you're also with Metal Incorporated Records, and we'll talk about that because you got something exciting that just happened with the label and everything. So we'll talk about that too. Welcome. It's nice to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. And just to get it out the gate, to clear it, my band is unfortunately not on the label. A couple of the band members don't like labels, so we're still independent.
Oh, yeah.
But I am running Metal Incorporated Records.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's yeah. I guess I don't know. Is it strange?
It's weird.
Is it
it's
strange?
Weird.
I don't know.
I think it's weird, but I mean, I see their point, and I wasn't gonna be the guy to divide the band over this. It's like,
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, and because you've already disbanded once, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah,
yeah. You can tell us the story. I just wanted to kind of highlight where I was this weekend, just real fast, because I've been posting about it. I've made Instagram posts about it and stuff. But I just, in case the guys are watching or they watch later or something, American Theory. I went and saw them down in Gastonia, North Carolina, which is just west of Charlotte. My first time in that little town, and I mean it was not really that little, but anyway, at this place called the Rooster. The venue was badass. I met the owner, and he's really cool. I'd like to get him on the show. We talked about that a little bit, and kind of talk about venues and stuff. I like to have everybody on. But Sunbreak played. Sunbreak's from Augusta, Georgia. They played. They're going to come back on the show pretty soon. That'll be their second time. And Shallow Signals. They haven't been on the show, but maybe in January when they get some time here, they'll be on. And then Sway, SWAE, opened the night, and they were incredible. Like, how come I haven't heard of them, But I have now, and they have an EP out, and it's badass. Check it out. Hope they get them on the show pretty soon. That's all I got. It was a great time. But I drove 888 miles this weekend.
Wow.
It was significant. And that wasn't even just the trip to the 6 hours to Charlotte and back. As soon as I got back on Sunday, I picked up Rob and Rick, and then we went to Pennsylvania to practice with the drummer for our show in February. So
I went about 400 miles. Went to go see the 49ers finally live.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think we were chatting back and forth or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they win?
I can imagine. Oh, dude! Since the Bears fired their coach, it was an easy win. So I felt bad for my friend because he's a Bears fan, and I'm like, man, I think I'll just get him drunk. That was a bad decision, though. He was yelling at people out my car window. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna knock you out, and it's because I love you.
I usually see those like on TikTok, especially. You see those clips of fans fighting in the stands on NFL games.
Dude, I was expecting that, but no. I think my friend was one of maybe two that I seen that was getting rowdy, and I kind of told him to knock it off, or you're walking home, or I'm gonna knock you out.
There you go. Did he wear a Bears shirt?
Oh, he was decked out from head to toe.
Oh yeah, he would have got his ass beat, I'm sure, if he would have just did that. Are you a Ravens fan, Matt? I never did ask you that. Or do you stray away from?
Yeah, I'm not a big football fan. I like hockey a lot. So
Detroit Red Wings. I have a tattoo on the back of my calf. I would show you, but I would have to get. I can't stretch like that anymore. So,
my band's vocalist is a Ravens fan.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'm a Steelers fan, because it's an hour and a half from me, so I have to I'm forced
Yeah,
to
he's
be.
from Arizona. I think he just likes them because they're called the Ravens.
And the Cardinals aren't very good either. That's probably another reason, right? The Arizona Cardinals.
They can be okay, but not that good. Yeah.
You never
like a
really hear about them.
crazy-
You never really hear about the Arizona Cardinals about anything. I don't.
Yeah. But for some reason, when they play us, well, not us, the Niners, they do pretty well. I don't know
Well,
why.
maybe because it's close proximity area. I don't know. Usually rivals. What
Probably
is the rival for the 49ers mainly?
Well, there's a lot. Mostly the Seahawks these days.
That's true.
Chargers.
Charges.
Not really the Oakland Raiders anymore because they're in Las Vegas now.
They keep moving. Didn't they move to? They were L.A. for a while too, right?
Yeah,
LA
LA
Raiders.
to Oakland to LA or to Las Vegas.
Like just find a spot. Well, they kind of have to stay in Vegas because they built that stadium, that expensive stadium.
Yeah, that place is ginormous.
Have you been there to Vegas?
No, just seen pictures.
Have you been to Vegas at all?
Once driving through, that's about it.
Oh, you didn't stop and like throw a couple dollars in the machine and lose it on purpose?
I think gambling's the stupidest shit in the world. I've done it once, and the same friend at the Niners game, we went on a cruise to Mexico, and we went into this bar casino area for a bucket of beer. And with the change, we dropped it in the slot machine. We won $250. We split it, and I was like, "That's it. That's the only time I'm gambling. I've done
Can't put
it
it back
and I
in,
won."
or you'll lose it. You'll lose
Right.
all. Yep. I gamble a little bit. I have to say that because my mom's probably watching. But I gamble a little bit. She doesn't know what this means. But yeah, but no, I'm on a good streak again. But it always goes away.
Yeah.
You know. So enough about that. Do you gamble, Matt? You gamble?
I do not. Have you done the math to figure out if you're up or down?
Right.
You can never beat the house ever. It's not
Right.
possible. You can get over them for a little bit, but you're always going to lose.
That's why they can still make commercials.
Yeah.
They can make a lot of things. That's why they can give away rooms and food and crap. Anyway, enough about that crap, right? I don't know. All right, well, tell us a little bit about. Okay, so was it Obsidian first, and then now it's the Obsidian Resurrection because you're back, or kind of tell the folks a little bit about you and that stuff.
We're all about.
Yeah.
Yeah. We formed back in like 1999, 2000. We were called Obsidian. We played some shows, did some tours, did really well. Actually was getting the attention of Century Media Records for a while. They wanted to hear our demo. I sent them that, and then they liked it and they wanted to hear our album. We were about to get our album ready to go, but we unfortunately had to break up, which sucks. We broke up around, I want to say 2005-ish, if my memory serves me, but I'm getting old. And yeah, so then, it sucked. We had all this material going on, and we couldn't do anything with it. All we have is this really crappy demo you can hear in our Bandcamp, and I can't say crappy because it's kind of near and dear to our hearts, but the production just sucks. So we just plugged in and let it rip, and we just printed it out for our shows. But so having all this material sitting around collecting dust, it was 2020. Is when because we all stayed friends, we all kind of kept in touch with each other, and this one day my keyboardist just hits me up, and he's like, "Hey, we need to get this music done, man." And I knew exactly what he's talking about, dude. I was like, "Yes, we do," and we just started talking. He's like, "Dude, I've already been talking to Alex, our drummer. Danny's our keyboardist," and soon after that, I say within the next 20 minutes, we're all in a group chat on Facebook talking about we need to get this shit done. Deimitri, our vocalist, guitarist, joined back in. Nate, our other guitarist, joined back in. So all of us are in our group chat, and we're like, okay, there's got to be a million bands called Obsidian out there. Let's think of what we want to do, because we searched, and dude, sure enough, every other band is called Obsidian, and so we were just like kind of tongue-in-cheek decided on the Obsidian Resurrection. We're resurrecting our old music, bringing it back from the dead to finish it. The Obsidian Resurrection. Ta-da.
Which is fitting because you're back, right?
Right,
that's the most fitting thing you can do.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and talk about the record label also? Or do you want to make that separate from the band conversation?
We can do that separate because, it kind of ties in, but not really because it is a separate entity. because I can knock that out of the way right now on how it ties together. So I was I'm a dinosaur, you know. My old school way of approaching promoting your music is throwing flyers out, putting them on every post, every poll, passing them out, going to people's show, passing them out. You can't really do that anymore. I mean, you can, but it's not as effective as online because everyone's online.
Right.
So I kind of started using Instagram and Facebook as my place to post my flyers or my band's information. And I started looking around and I'm like, there has to be a better way to do this. And I just started looking at other metal bands that I really discovered that I like their music. And I'm like, dude, why doesn't this band have hella more followers? They only have like 200 followers, but they kick ass. So I reached out to all these different bands. I'm like, hey, let's start building a community to just share each other's music and start tagging each other in our posts, and all of our followers would go to that. And sure enough, it was really working for a while because we were just basically pushing our followers to everyone's music, you know, by tagging and sharing. And it became a really cool community. And through that, it just kept growing and growing. Like it started out with 6 or 7 bands, then 20, then 30. And soon enough, my friend Costa, he's the lead guitarist on our album, his band Hatred joined. And through that, his band's personal manager through Nuclear Blast saw what I was doing, and he's like, hey, let's get this going. Let's build something with this. And then he kept helping me recruit all these other people in different bands, and soon enough I had over 200 bands. But everything kind of blew up in our face because he let one bad apple in when I told him not to, but he did it without listening to me. And sure enough, it's almost ruined everything. And so he left he had to, because, you know, he's representing Nuclear Blast and all the other people. Like we had Mantis from Venom in there. We had Ex-Hoarder in there. We had all kinds of people up in there, and they all had to bounce because of legal reasons, because of this one person who messed things up. And I was like, dude, everything's falling apart. And then through all of that, though, I was talking to someone named Sam Ode, and he was also running a record label called Sode Records, Sodeh. And he was like, bro, I see what you're doing. You have a hella good work ethic. Let's try to turn this around. And we started talking and get to know each other. And I got some of the bands in the community signed onto his record label that I felt was a good fit. And he was like, dude, these are some good ass bands. Let's keep this building up, you know? And eventually over time, he helped me turn Metal Incorporated into a promoting community, from that into a record label. And so now I'm partners with Sode Records and a subdivision label as Metal Incorporated Records. So I tip my hat to Sam for helping me do all that. And we've been rocking and rolling for 3 years, 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. And our bands are kicking ass. They're constantly charting. We have something like 50 out of 80 of our bands charting consistently with their new releases. It's crazy.
You know what's even crazier is on my YouTube, on my subscriptions, I'm subscribed to Sode Records.
Oh, yeah?
And for somewhere, like, I mean, it could be, I'd have to go back and like look and see who's on his label maybe, and see, it might be somebody's been on the show, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I get the updates, all the bands and stuff. So yeah, it works. It really works. What your idea works, and I mean, that's really what you have to do. I think Matt can agree. You know, it's hard enough to promote yourself. You know, your own band. You know, it's a lot to promote this show. You know, like you have to be constant and post to everything. It's just impossible to do, really.
Yeah, and then you got to get lucky on top of it.
Exactly.
You got to try and get in that algorithm.
But you got a whole community together like that of everybody doing the same stuff, and yeah, somebody's gonna see something, and that's what happened, you know?
Yeah, it was blowing up. It was kicking ass for a while. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're still kicking ass. But the promoting community, I set that as separate. Now there's an actual separate entity for Metal Incorporated community page where bands can still do all that in there.
Nice. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you came back. You resurrected that from getting almost shut down, and you know, just from one person, and you stuck it to him, you know?
Yeah.
He tried to destroy it, and you stuck it to him.
I gotta ask.
Well, I have no hard feelings against him. He just made a mistake. He didn't heed my warning, and it fell apart.
Go ahead, Matt.
How did you guys go from You said you had one like less than preferable recorded demo out on Bandcamp too. You guys are putting out 7-8 minute long death metal epics essentially.
Yeah, epics.
Right. So how do you go from point A to point B? And I mean, I know you said it's been a few years, but there was a clear jump in progression.
Yeah. Well, let me preface this by saying we lack the ability to write short songs. We don't know how, because when we get in that groove, we kind of just let it ride until we feel the song is done. Because we all kind of, especially Danny, but we all have this almost classical music approach to how we write with movements. And so that's just how we write. So we apologize to anyone who doesn't like long songs, but trust me, you're gonna hear some badass riffs in these songs.
I welcome long songs because when the songs are good and then all of a sudden it's over, like in 3 minutes, it's like, wait a minute, I want to hear more of that,
Right?
Because they got more. Every band has more. Because I mean, well, our songs are about 8 minutes long. We can't stop at 4 ever.
Like one of my favorite songs from Slayer, Ditto Head. It's like 2 minutes long, but I'm like, it needs more. So I always repeat it like 50 times. But so back then, yeah, we had that demo. It was just a little thing. We went to our friend's house at the time. He had a 4-track recorder in his garage, and we just plugged in and started recording. Well, actually, we had a different demo we recorded before that, actually, before we had a drummer, and we used that demo to try to find a drummer. That's actually an interesting story in and of itself, because like I said, we didn't have a drummer at that time. And so we recorded this drummerless demo to try and find one, and we printed up flyers saying drummer needed. And around that time, what's that place called? Guitar Center was just opening up. So we're like, this is our chance. There's a grand opening. Let's go pass all this stuff out. We're got to find a drummer doing that. And so we went there and we had a plan. Deimitri and Mike, our other guitarists at the time, they were going to plug in and just start jamming our music. And we were going to like totally take over the event because they had security. They had the whole parking lot set up with a stage and a DJ. But who listens to DJ at a Guitar Center? Like, it's metalheads. Everyone's looking like they're hating life, So we're like, dude, let's liven this up. But
they're the nicest people in the world, and they're having so much fun. They don't show it.
Yeah. And so they plugged in. They started jamming. I believe our song "Forever's End." And me and the original vocalist at the time, my friend Justin, we were passing out the flyers and everyone looking for the drummers. We passed out everything, and security loved it. They let us do it. They were rocking out too, and everyone.
What are they gonna do anyway? Like, say
exactly.
Quit.
We're just testing out the gear before we buy it, And so we thought we were going to find a drummer. That actually didn't work. It helped our MySpace blow up, but no one was responding.
MySpace
it took us. Oh man, I think
you can still do it. MySpace is still up. You can still make a MySpace. You can go back and.
Is it?
I don't know if Tom can be your friend still, but I'm sure he can. I mean, who else would be running it? He's probably still sitting in that chair, looking. Like, remember that picture that everybody had
in front of the whiteboard.
Yeah. So Guitar Center is like the Chuck E. Cheese for musicians,
That's what it felt like, yeah. And so we jammed for like 2 years, I'd say, and we were getting to the point where we were going to call it quits. Like, dude, we can't find a drummer. This is stupid. No one can play our stuff because they say it's too fast or too intricate, blah, blah, blah. They always had an excuse. And then finally we go to our friend's house, and Danny and we do a side project called Viral Domine. And through that, we're jamming at the dude's house. Our friend Jason, his little brother Andrew is in another band called Scythe, and their drummer, Alex, he's in that band. So we're sharing a band space. And then one day after band practice, we go to my house down the street. We're outside playing hacky sack, just kind of pissed off because we can't find a drummer. And then my neighbor's kid comes out and starts playing hacky sack with us. And then all of a sudden, here comes Alex out of my neighbor's house. It's my neighbor's kid is his best friend. They start playing hacky sack with us, waiting for their pizza to be delivered. And we start talking about music, and we show Alex our demo. He falls in love with it, and then all of a sudden, he's our drummer. Yeah.
That's hacky. No, okay, you had me at hacky sack for one thing. That's when I
Right.
really started paying attention. I was like, nobody really does hacky sacky. Do you still do it in California? I mean, it's a totally different world in the East Coast.
I
trust
see
me.
it occasionally, but I don't, especially with my busted knee, but I don't
Yeah,
see it
that's
within my age group. Now it's all just like frisbee golf or extreme, whatever it's called, disc golf.
frisbee golf. It's like what, or they call it disc golf here. I guess it's the
Jeez,
same
over
thing.
here.
It's just weird. Either golf or don't. You know, just golf or don't. We don't need any more courses. You know, there's plenty. You ever heard of the George Carlin the spiel that he did with golf courses for the homeless? Did you ever hear that one? Where we could get rid of most of the golf courses around here and build residential places for homeless people.
Yeah, I do remember that vaguely. So to finalize that response to your question, when we did break up, like I said, that music was just sitting around collecting dust, and how we go from that demo was we retained those songs and we kind of reworked them. They're still on this album, and that mentality of the lyrics and the vibe of the music itself is still retained, because every single song that we had written back in the day, except for one, we had a ballad, but that was with our original guitarist because he was more into basic metal and power metal, but he left the band because we were going towards symphonic death metal, and he's like, you guys, it's too heavy, but you guys can do your thing with the music. And so we kind of just kept everything within in essence of that demo and made it beefier, more groovy. Hell, one of the songs, Prophecies Will, you can hear on our Bandcamp, on the demo, that's kind of got a more groovy stomp to it, like, you know, Anthrax stomp. But then all of a sudden, it's now the fastest song on our demo. It's still got the grooves, but BPM wise, that song was a beast and a half to record, and I'm surprised I did it in one take. So you're gonna hear, you can actually go back in our Bandcamp and hear the differences between Prophecies Will on our demo and Prophecies Will on the album, because we're letting people listen to Prophecies Will on our Bandcamp when they you can listen to it, and you also get it as a download for pre-ordering it for the album. And so we just kind of took these songs, and I guess this is gonna, without trying to sound cliche, made them more mature. And obviously the production's better because we wanted a Dimmu Borgir type production with this. And Carlos from Dirty Viking Studios, or is it audio? Dirty Viking Audio, and Brett from Tower Studio, they made it happen with the sound production. It cost a pretty penny, but we're really happy with how this sounds.
It's cool because you've hit this, like, this thing, right, where you've got that symphonic element that's kind of like a European style death metal, where, like, I think of like Winter Sun, Omnium Gatherum, stuff like that, right? But then you bring the American brutality into it, and that's something that we don't have right now in America, where you catch the two elements. You're bringing that, like, decapitated, that, like, kind of heaviness to a more symphonic approach to metal, which is,
that was
cool, man.
something.
There's a spot.
That's something that we just basically, we wanted to write music that we all loved and listened to, but add an orchestration element to it. That's all we wanted to do. And it was really interesting because back in the day when we were touring and everything still, we're talking early 2000s, the only bands that were similar to that, there's like two in Europe, and there was one that we knew of, ironically, in San Francisco near us, Cypheria. And the two, I think, that were doing it were Enthroned and, was it Enslaved?
Okay. Yeah.
I think those were the only two other bands that were quasi-symphonic death metal. But we wanted to go balls in and just be symphonic death metal, because those bands, they had their elements, but some of the symphonic stuff, it felt like they were holding back the death metal on certain songs. Yeah. We just wanted to go all in and be like, yeah, we're death metal, but we also are of that era of death metal where it still kind of has that punky thrash sound, kind of like Possessed. And then we're also like paying homage to that era of thrash metal where it's still very aggressive, like think Morbid Visions from Sepultura, where it's quasi death metal. Yeah. So we're kind of trying to pay homage to everything we love to listen to, but just add symphonics to it and orchestration.
Yeah, you end up with a blend.
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and listen to Prophecies Will. since we were talking about that, right?
Okay.
We'll go ahead and listen to that. You want to talk about what the lyrics are about or anything, or about what the song, how the song, before we listen to it?
Like I said, this song is a beast that hits you in the face and does not let up until the end of the song. It was a hell of a track to record. This was the first track I went in to record with my friend Brian at Stone Graphics. He also has a recording studio, and he recorded my bass. And he wanted me to do one of our other songs that were longer, because this is one of the shortest songs on the album. And he's like, you sure you want to do that one instead of this really long one, like 13, 14-minute song? Like, no, dude, I need to do this one to get it out of the way, because this is going to kill my hand and my forearm, because I'm a pick player, because I used to be a guitarist before as a bassist, so I'm a pick player. And so I got it out of the way, and I nailed it. Musically, like I said, it's very aggressive. Lyrically, it's kind of it's about this beast that we have dubbed within the band called the Beast of Prophecy. It feeds upon the sin and evil of mankind, and it grows and festers through all this until it just awakens full of rage and takes all that anger and hatred out on us. And then once that thirst is quenched, it goes back to slumber until it's wakened again by us messing up the world around us and warring, killing each other, all that stuff.
I like that concept. I like when there's a story like that. You know, when the album has a story and you're telling the story through your music. That's great.
Yeah.
Here's Prophecy's Will. This is awesome. Check it out. Okay, that was badass. I have one question though before I let Matt take the you know how in the hell would you be able to play this live like a bunch of these in a row like that? You would just die. You'd drown in your own sweat. You would think.
Dude, there was times after shows we were just drenched in sweat. One in particular, we were doing a show at a death metal festival in Arizona called Metal Devastation, and we were nice enough to be able to co-headline that show, but the air conditioner was broken.
Oh no!
In the middle of July in Arizona.
In Arizona, yeah.
We looked like we just came out of a swimming pool. It was disgusting.
So you just gave everybody a hug, and when you got done playing, hey, thanks, man. Good job. Hey, thanks. And then you give them a hug.
That's the best. Yeah, just wring out my shirt on the crowd.
Yeah. That's just all right, Matt. I'll let you go ahead and take the.
Lots of practice to get that stamina up.
Matt, you should start. Crimson Throne should start playing shit like that. You're close. You're close. You got close with Skyline.
If only, if only we could. No, man. That's cool. The entire time, all I can think just keep thinking is that's what like the American death metal scene needs, where you have those melodic moments, but it's constant like. You're pushing. It's a lot of Morbid Angel in there, stuff like that, but it's been symphonic on top of it. That's great. That's awesome.
There's a lot.
We were listening to a lot of Morbid Angel and Suffocation during that. We just literally, when me and Deimitri were jamming together, and we just went into his aunt and uncle's garage, and just that song is what happened that night. Pretty much what you hear on the demo is what we came up with, and it pretty much stuck from there to the album. So if you listen to the demo, the intro to the song on the demo is now the ending of the song on the album. That's the only difference. I mean, this song we just created on the spot. We listened to a lot of Morbid Angel and Suffocation, and it just we just hit the nail on the head with it.
Now, is that genre big where you live? Is in the scene, the music scene there, or is it just? Is there like a niche for it?
There's actually a really good death metal scene in California. As far as symphonic death metal, so that's the kind of thing that was kind of weird for us when we were playing live back in the day. A lot of people didn't know what to think of us because they're like, it's death metal, but there's violins and piano and stuff, So it was kind of a niche back then, and it still kind of is today, but it's more accepted nowadays. That's kind of what I feel. Because there's an awesome death metal scene over here in California, especially in my area because I'm close to the Bay Area where I live, and death metal is huge in the Bay Area over here. In fact, when we were playing back then, a lot of the old bands we were touring with and playing shows with became the bigger bands they are now. Like Origin, for example, is one of them. Rings of Saturn. A couple other bands back then, they were in different bands, and then those bands broke up to become the bands everyone knows now. We played with the precursor to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What's the since you guys have been around for a while, with a little bit of hiatus in between, but what was the biggest show for you guys to date, I guess, to date?
Probably when we co-headlined with Dragon Lord, which is a symphonic black metal side project of Testament's guitarist Eric Peterson. That was during the stint where, so this Metal Incorporated community thing, I did something similar to that back then, but it was more physical, where we were going to each other's shows and passing out flyers and whatnot. And a little bit of a story to get up to that Dragon Lord show. I started reaching out to local bands, and we started building a scene together and playing shows constantly, and we'd help each other out at our shows. Like, we would go to their shows, pass out flyers for their next shows, helping them sell their merch. We'd help get mosh pits started for them, we'd make connections, and we just started playing shows together, and that we called the Legion, which ultimately became Unbound Productions. All these groups of bands were just playing shows together, gigging together, sharing each other's flyers, sharing each other's merch, and we were getting some good sized crowds to our shows because of it, and everyone kind of knew who we were because of that. That ultimately led up to me being able to put on shows. What's that word? A show promoter. I can't remember the actual term for it, but I became one of those guys, you know, putting on shows, and I used my connections. And one of the connections I got was through Testament, and Testament wasn't on tour at the time, but Eric Peterson was doing stuff with Dragon Lord, his symphonic black metal side project, and that's probably our biggest show that we did was co-headline with Dragon Lord.
That's awesome. That's yeah. Okay, what was the worst show? I got to, you know, everybody. I can't just say, hey, what was the best one? And there, you know, what was the worst one?
Probably the show we did in Arizona where the air conditioner broke because there was also this jerk in the front row that kept spitting fake blood at us, and it was really pissing us off. And even got over Danny's very expensive keyboards and synthesizers. Got to the point where he almost wanted to kick the dude in the face. He stopped playing and went to the front of the stage and he started threatening the dude. If I remember correctly. It like Danny said he wanted to kick the dude in the face because he kept spitting fake blood at all of us and all over his equipment.
If you're gonna spit blood, you might as well spit real blood at that point, you know, because you're probably going to be spitting it anyway. Because there's
something, yeah. So I mean, that's the closest I can say to a bad show. I don't really think we had a bad show other than that one.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you were already miserable because it was hot.
Yeah,
and then some idiot has to be there, you know.
I probably didn't notice it because I was already pouring sweat, and like you said, it was hot. I probably felt the blood and was like, "Oh, that's refreshing," you know.
Yeah. Oh, they're throwing water at us, guys. You know.
That's probably what I thought it was water. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that guy's just lives in his mom's basement. Hopefully he's fine. I hope he's not dead or anything. Just he lives in his mom's basement. He watches. He's got a Discord or what? I don't know. I'm just doing.
Who knows? Maybe he's still a fan.
I want to go ahead and do off stage because the other song that we're gonna play by the Obsidian Resurrection is 7 minutes, and I want to make sure we listen to the entire thing because it's good. You know, it builds and it's a great song. But I want to go ahead and just do off stage and you know do that. But I'm glad I have Matt because Matt came up with a great question. So I do this thing where, and it's been working for the most part. That the guest, so like Josh, tonight you will come up with a random question for me to ask the next guest.
Oh, okay.
And without even knowing who they are or anything, just something random. So I will ask you the flanger question. That was last band that was on, the one for you for tonight. But I'm glad I had Matt on here because his question was epic, and he was actually watching that flanger show on YouTube that day, and it was a good response. But basically, do you want to? I think we should ask Josh the same question because I kind of need to know his opinion on that.
Now I'm nervous over here.
No, it's nothing. I mean, it's great. I'll let you ask him. You go ahead and ask him if you remember what it was.
All right. It was. Would you rather have dicks for fingers, or never be able to taste anything ever again?
I know, man. I'm on the fence with it.
And it's tough because you work with your hands, you play a stringed instrument. What are you gonna do?
Now, are they hard?
That's what I was gonna ask. Are they floppy or?
I asked our bass player that, and that's what he asked me. That's what his response was. Are they hard? I'm like, I don't know.
They're functional. They're functional.
Functional dicks for fingers.
They're not always.
That sounds like a grindcore band.
I guess if you lick them, they can get hard.
Functional finger dicks.
Jesus.
Since I've had COVID like 7 times, I'd probably go with not tasting things. I'm used to it.
You know, and I thought my buddy Rob would choose the dicks for fingers, but he didn't. He didn't.
It's a tough life.
Now, what's your answer, Matt?
I can't have dick fingers, right?
What?
I said I can't have dick fingers.
Why?
I also work with my hands, and I like playing guitar. My life's over.
Yeah, but if they're hard, then it doesn't matter. They're always going to be on point.
Yeah, but then you're just walking around moaning all the time and shit.
Hey, welcome to my world, right?
You know who could benefit from dick fingers though is Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. How he plays.
Could, yes.
Yeah, he could just smack him.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Wow. Okay, but I wanted Matt to come up with more questions for you. Were you able to? I know you have more.
I got two.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
got two. One is musically related, and I know it's not supposed to be. It's off stage.
No, it can be. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
And then the other is not. So the first one that's musically related, would you, if given the opportunity, take your favorite artists on your respective instrument? Would you take their talent, like you could have it, but they would never be able to have it again? So, for example, like
that's horrible. That's a horrible question.
Like,
I mean, it's a good question, but yeah, damn.
Big fan of the Black Dahlia Murder, right? So, like, I love Brandon Ellis, Ryan Knight, those guys' guitar. I could have their talent, but they would never be able to create music again like that because I would have it.
Man,
I feel like my answer is cheating because mine would be Cliff Burton.
Okay.
And he's dead.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Can you fill me in on that?
The bassist of Metallica, the original bassist.
Oh, okay. All right. Yep.
He died in the 80s, so I think I'm safe with that.
That's fair.
His legacy would live on, and I would just gain his ability.
That's a loophole.
Frank Sinatra. Yeah. Frank Sinatra. I would love to have his voice.
There you go.
That's a good voice.
He got blue eyes. He got a lot of females with that voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's bad at it. I mean, just look at him. He's just, you know, the Rat Pack.
You'll catch me listening to the Rat Pack a lot.
All kind of secret clubs, you know.
I listen to the Rat Pack quite often, actually.
That is good. That's a good. It's a tough question though, because like you know, if you're one of your biggest influences is like Maynard for me, you know.
Yeah.
He's alive and well with his wine and stuff. You know. Go ahead.
No, you.
Me? Okay. No, but yeah, but I mean, like, I don't want to take his talent because he's still creating, you know, and that's I'd much rather him create than me. I don't know.
Well, at the rate they create, you could borrow it for the next 20 years while you wait for the next Tool album.
That's not part of the question, though, Josh.
Oh, okay.
But that's what made me think of the question was that I'm a fan of music first, right? Like I like to listen to these guys that play, but at the same time, sometimes you'll watch a guy and be like, what am I missing? Right. How can I get there? Other than obvious hours and hours of practice, which is the answer. But you watch them and you're like, damn, I would love to be able to do that. But at the same time, I want to be able to hear them. What do they have next?
Yeah.
That's true. What's the other one that's non-music related?
All right. The non-music related one is, would you rather be loved or hated by somebody who is an obsessive, like, psycho?
Well,
I've had stalkers before. Is that the same thing?
Sure.
Yeah. That's actually kind of scary. So I don't know, man. Like stalkers are on their own level.
Yeah, they are. Well,
maybe hated. I've dealt with hate before too, so I don't mind that. Maybe I can deal with being hated. I don't mind. Let the hate flow. I don't care.
I'm gonna do that question that I asked you guys about remember the haunted house question?
I love haunted houses.
Okay, so but that's just a choice. So like if you could play any venue for the rest of your life, just say that's the only venue you can play the rest of your life. Would it be a giant hamster wheel, a haunted house, or a spaceship? And why?
Hamster wheel's a no-go.
That's what you guys. That's what the band picked, right? And then you were like, no, haunted house.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, that's right.
I just picture everyone throwing up.
Which is not a bad thing if you're, you know.
The spaceship would be cool, but that would kind of get boring after a while because you're just up in space. I think a haunted house would be cool because there's always something interesting going on. Always something to check out.
What if people just think it's haunted, but it's really not, and you're just, I don't know.
Then I can like deck it out with decorations and just draw more people in and add to that story of it being haunted. I can make up my own past to it, my own mythos. I can make my own scares and scare the crap out of people and create stories about it.
That's almost to the T what Matt said about it, isn't it?
Nice.
Sort of. You know, I'd have to.
Yeah.
That's very close. All right, Josh. come up with a random question. You don't have to do it right now. Think about something. But before we quit the show, I'll try to remember. Matt, you try to remember.
Do I say it on air or after the show?
Yeah, you can say it on air. Yeah, say it on air. If you have it now, you can say it. But it'll be for the next guest. I already know who the next guest is in January. But there's always somebody might. Actually, the next show. Well, that doesn't count. The Christmas show is the next show, but that doesn't count because there's guys been on it. But the next show will be January 2nd with Lilith Rising from Charlotte. So. You'll know.
I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Would they rather play in a cow pasture in the middle of the rain, or would they rather play at a stinky cheese factory in the middle of summer with the air conditioner broke down?
In Arizona.
In Arizona.
That's a good one. All right, I will ask them.
All right,
I will reserve that. I will reserve that for them. My cat's in here meowing at me. He's just going meow. And he doesn't meow. I got him at the Humane Society because he's the only one in the room full of cats that didn't meow. And now, all of a sudden, in his old age, he's starting to bitch about stuff. And it's really annoying. Like, that wasn't your selling point.
Yep.
I'll pick him up in a second. He hates that. Let's go ahead and listen to the new one. You want to do that? I don't want to lose time, because it's a long song, and it's long in the best way. The best way. Tell us about this song. What's it about? How did it come up with the writing process and things?
Well, this song, it wasn't originally going to be our title track. It was originally called Written in Blood. It's one of the last songs we wrote before we broke up, along with my song, Born from Tyranny. Those two songs at the end of our stint. So this song is still relatively new to me lyrically. From what I gather, I want to say it's about someone being possessed by some sort of entity or a witch or something, and either being possessed or taken control of or something. It sounds like a possession story from what I gather. Musically, it's going to take you on a ride. It starts with a nice slow groove, but that roller coaster just keeps going up and up and up and up, and then eventually it has to come down, and it's crazy.
I've listened to this song a couple times, one without headphones on, and one with, and it's badass. Have you heard this one, Matt? Well, actually, Matt didn't know which songs we were listening to because I didn't. I left that out of the email, or did I?
You left him out, but I checked him out beforehand.
Yeah, so. Yeah. It's okay. When does the album come out? The full album?
We're taking pre-orders for it on our Bandcamp right now, and if you do pre-order it, they get Prophecy's Will as a download. It's dropping January 10th.
Oh yeah. All right, the Obsidian Resurrection. This is As Darkness Falls. It's badass.
That's right.
You should have just kept going for another minute. I was ready for, why stop there?
I actually did go on longer because the original version, if I remember correctly, had an outro guitar solo, but we felt that was too long for the album, and we just kind of cut it. And plus, Alex wanted to go off on his drums, as you could hear. He does that again at the end of Born for Tyranny. He has a similar play field for Alex to have fun with his drums, and he goes nuts on that song also.
That's just. I mean, it sounds terrific, man. It really does. Like I'm not.
Thank you.
Like I was telling you before we went live, I'm not. This is not really my scene. I don't know too much about this death metal scene. I haven't had many bands on. I've had a few on that do it, but like I don't know too much about it. So I'm glad Matt's here to help with the conversation because
You're a learned pupil or student.
I am a pupil for sure.
You're in the pupil stage.
Yes, I am in the pupil stage. Hey, real quick, what is it? Not this Friday, next Friday, my buddy Tom over in London will be on the show again. He always does the Christmas special with me. I call it the Spectacular. It's not really that spectacular, but it kind of is. It's getting that way. But Tom's been on the last 2 times he collects hats, like for your head, like hats. And he's got some new ones this year, but he constantly changes hats throughout the episode. Sometimes you notice it, sometimes you don't. I'll look down at something and then I'll look up and he's got dreadlocks on. Or hats. And my buddy Bo that lives around here, he's going to come up from Weston, which is where he lives down south here, and he's going to come up and be on the show as well. It's going to be a fun show. Me and Bo we're comical. I think I go watch the shows after I do them. I'll watch this one and laugh my ass off at myself because I'm an idiot, for most of it. But me and Bo together is just epic. And then now we're gonna have Tom in there with it, with random hats. See, look, Josh, you might as well come on. You might as well come on the show.
Man of many hats.
Yes,
on a sword.
But he'll have like a box or a bag or something. Tom will beside him, and just keep changing. And like he's got a rooster. Well, it's a cock, but and he'll go like this, and the thing will bounce its head. But I mean, it's crazy. Usually has new ones every year. But he didn't even know he was a collector until I kind of like caught him out on it. It was just a random thing. Yeah, the first time that we did the Christmas show, he just started doing that, and I was like, well, I guess we're gonna do that next year. But I was kind of like on the fence about asking him. I was like, you don't have to, but do you want to do the Christmas show? He's like, yeah, of course. So
nice.
We're gonna do it. Be the 20th at 7 p.m. And like Tom will be in London, and me and Bo will be sitting right here. And we kind of have a surprise for that also. I can't say it because Tom, he'll watch, and I don't want him to know the surprise, And then
you can keep tabs on me. I'm going to be in Texas visiting family for the holidays, so I have no idea what I'm doing. But
jump on the show with us. Might as well. Matt, come on the show. It's a Christmas spectacular. Everybody can be on.
I'm not sure how I'd be able to. Down in Texas, I won't have anything but my phone.
you can get on Zoom on your phone.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if you want to, we'll be here.
We'll see. We might be at a Trans-Siberian Orchestra concert. I'm not sure when that is.
While you're there, you can still get on Zoom and we'll watch it from your phone.
Live broadcast for everyone.
Yeah. The next day, though, which would be Saturday, I got to mention this because I got their logo tattooed on my arm. Dream the Heavy, which is a fantastic band out of Pittsburgh. I just got to know them this year really well. TK, actually, the lead singer, did the artwork for my electronic album, or my EP that I put out about a month ago. And phenomenal artist, but the whole band's great. They do this thing every year. I think this is only the second year they've done it, maybe the third. They call it the Winter Wonder Ball, and it's just their band plays. There's 3 other bands playing, and there's vendors and stuff, and they're doing that at Spirit in Pittsburgh on the 21st. And I got my tickets. I will be going to that. I'm not going to dress up. I don't think we're supposed to. I didn't get the memo. If we are, but
you should still.
I think I have these pants, okay, that I wore to one wedding. Okay, it was my cousin's wedding, probably 3 years ago, and I haven't worn them since. But I think they're pretty. They're not pink. They're salmon. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking
might have to rock
like Santa's helper or something. Like an elf.
I need to, yeah. Then I would need to get like a hat. Maybe I can see if Tom can send one over real quick from London. Hey.
Or you can do like what I have. I got these really tacky Christmas pajama pants. and then like a Christmas techie shirt. Like I'm wearing a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation
Let's
shirt.
see it. Let's see it. Open it up. There you go. I love Christmas Vacation.
It's the quote where he says, "When Santa squeezes his fat white ass down the chimney tonight, he's gonna find the."
Everybody knows the rest of it.
He's gonna find the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house.
Yeah. What a great movie that was, you know?
Yeah.
What a great movie. So I'll be doing that not this weekend, but next weekend. This weekend is band practice again. But the second, before we get to the second, I always do a New Year's show also. I don't do it on New Year's Eve because I got shit to do also. You know, nobody's going to watch. We got to count down and kiss ourselves or something or make, you know. So I always do a year in review. I always go back and look at the year and, just talk about what the show's done in the past year and kind of talk about what's coming up next year, which I really don't know. But I'm looking for a guest for that. And it's not a long show. We kind of do a little bit shorter and just kind of highlight things. And I've talked to a couple of people about it, but we'll see. I haven't announced anything yet, and I don't plan to. The next best show, though, is the Christmas show. And Trans-Siberian Orchestra at the same time, I think.
That's right.
I'm not sure when the date is.
I lost the audio.
Where'd it go?
There. I lost the audio, but it came back.
We hear you.
Is it back?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you. We just can't see you.
Okay, that'll. How about now?
There you are.
It's that stupid. I need a new MacBook. Anybody want to? If there's a tip jar on my website, it's very top. It just says tip jar. If you have $1, that'll help. Because if you don't tip, then I'm gonna have to keep gambling. You know, MacBooks are expensive. They're not cheap.
You're gonna get the MacBook.
I mean, they're not cheap. I had to gamble to go on the tour with Rain to Z when I met you, Matt. That suck. My life's a gamble. Well, life for everyone's a gamble, you know. Anyway, Lilith Rising from Charlotte is going to be on the 2nd of January at 8 p.m. I believe is that one. That's all. That's all I got.
I've never actually heard of that band. I think.
Have you?
I think so. From a different podcast.
They have a female lead singer.
Yeah,
Taryn. I met her when I was on that tour with Rain Z.
They may have been on Gar's Graveyard Network, Gargoyles Graveyard Network, something like that.
That is tough to say.
My friend Robert.
Okay, cool.
I think that's where I found them.
I look forward to meeting the rest of the band. They have a different sound, a little bit different sound than I've heard, and that'll be a good show, I think. Yeah, I'll always give the guest however much time they need at the end of the show to just plug the crap out of themselves. Where can people find you? Where do you want to send them your Bandcamp, your Instagram, wherever? I'll just give you the floor to do that.
Well, we are literally on every single streaming platform service out there. YouTube, Spotify, Tidal. We're on Facebook, Instagram, both of them, the Obsidian Resurrection. On Bandcamp primarily, that's where you can pre-order our album. And like I said, that gets you Prophecies Will as an immediate download. Digital is going for $10, physical is $15. That's coming January 10th. And there you can also listen to our old demo. And like I said, you can compare the songs, especially Prophecies Will right now. And you can actually, if you get the physical album, you get a beautiful collection of artwork that our drummer's father painted for us. When he heard we were doing this, he was like, I can paint some things for you. And we gave him some ideas of thematically what we wanted it to look like. And he killed it. He's an amazing, talented man. So yeah, you can give us a follow on all of those and pre-order the album. Let us know what you think of the new song Prophecies Will, and As Darkness Falls is everywhere. That's everywhere. That one's not on Bandcamp. We're thinking about closer toward the album's release, putting that also on Bandcamp for people that primarily use Bandcamp so they can check it out as well. But yeah, As Darkness Falls is everywhere except Bandcamp.
The artwork that you sent me, when you sent me the logos and stuff, is that from the same person? Is that
the logo?
What you're talking about?
The logo is
not the logo, but the album cover or is that the painting stuff? Is that from him?
That's all him, yeah.
Really good stuff. Really
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
really talented. He actually, I always tell this story. One year for my birthday. Well, I didn't know it was going to be for my birthday. A few months prior to my birthday, he sends me a text message asking me to send him a picture of me looking dead. I'm like, what? So I
Play dead.
did.
Right.
And then like a couple months later on my birthday, he said, "Your painting's done. Happy birthday. Come pick it up." And he painted me as a zombie.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want one.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Hey, Matt, play dead. What? Yeah, that's crazy. Well, Josh, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. I look forward to the album. I'm going to get on Bandcamp. Are you guys going to do a vinyl? Everybody does vinyls nowadays. I don't know why, but they do.
Probably not.
Picture some of that artwork on a vinyl. You know,
it would look amazing, but this album's really expensive, so we're hoping more people pre-order it. I don't think we can afford a vinyl for it. We maybe if we do like a secondary print up, we can include vinyl, but who knows? At this point, it's just the album and digital.
You guys have stickers now. That's a big deal for me because
we launched our new line of merch. We have stickers, shirts, everything. Our merch link is on our social media pages. I'm looking at my Bandcamp now. I think I need to update that and include it on our Bandcamp.
I have some Acute Mania Live stuff I'd like to send you. If you want to get some of your snail mail address, I have temporary tattoos. I don't know if you have any tattoos, but I have ones that are temporary. So that way, if you like it, you can get it. You know, after you try to on your forehead or something. So
Yeah.
I'll send you some of those, and just basically keep me a lot of stickers. And I just got these, Matt, the other day. I'll send you guys out some. This is my newest business card. I figured, I put a bunch of words on it that nobody can really see because usually I'm at a show or something. It's dark and nobody can see anything. So it's just a square card with the logo, and then on the back is a QR code.
That's perfect.
Simple, you know what I mean? Done.
It's usually what people do
I've done
nowadays.
it all.
I've noticed.
So I'd like to send you guys out some stuff and pass around. Put some Acute Mania Live stickers on a guardrail out there in Modesto somewhere.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I have that I can send back to you, if I can find them, is I have custom-made Obsidian Resurrection guitar picks, 2 different styles.
I will do that. I will play with those
You can
when I
take
sing.
them on the back of your wall, right behind you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right back. It's like a weather guy. I got everything's backwards, so I have to like.
Yeah.
And tomorrow it's going to be sunny in Philadelphia.
Sunny with a chance
Oh,
of
it's sunny.
death metal.
Yeah. That's funny too. Matt, thanks for coming on, man, and co-hosting. You've saved my life tonight.
Thank you for having me.
It was
Come
nice
back,
meeting
Let
you.
me take up all your time.
Come back and do it again. And Josh, you're welcome to come on and co-host. Anybody that's ever been a guest of the show is welcome to be on as a co-host. Sometimes I could really use it. Especially if it's death metal, you guys would be perfect for that. Either that, or I'll just take a night off and let you guys do the show.
If you need me to come on and help talk shop about death metal bands, hit me up.
Well, I think we're gonna talk too about getting some of the bands that are on your label also. So we'll maybe we'll do that and we'll get them all on. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean I see. So for Metal Incorporated Records, our bands, they go from all genres, from all rock to all metal, from anything that's radio friendly to things that'll give grandma a heart attack. We have it all.
Yeah. That's the greatest. Yeah, anything, man. I'm down for it.
Okay.
Whoever and whenever. I did notice there's one from. I think it might be a solo artist from Portugal. Is that right?
There is a band from Portugal. There's a couple from Portugal, I think, on Sode Records. It's either Portugal and there's another one from Spain.
I've done 24 different countries. I've never done Spain. I've never done Portugal. So
the Red Crow from Sode Records, they just released their new single yesterday. They're stoner metal and they're really good. I enjoy them. The one from I want to say it's Spain. They're called Norwald. They're symphonic power metal.
Sweet. I would love to have them all on. Let's just book all of them.
Yeah, I can start sending you our band's new releases.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Well, thanks very much again for being on, man. It's been a pleasure, and I can't wait for the album to come out. The album's going to be badass. I just want to hear it because of the story. Are you going to have the lyrics up and stuff? Because I'm terrible at lyrics.
We got Deimitri to write down all the lyrics. They're in the book, and probably when the album releases, I'll put the lyrics on our Bandcamp.
Badass. Matt, what's Crimson Throne got? You guys got something coming out? Or are you guys like taking a rest for the year?
We got a new one coming out before the new year. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Well, if you really want, I'll listen to it if you need like another set of ears, and I won't let anybody else hear it.
We'll shoot it to you once we get vocals down.
And don't get a hold of me. I'm not going to let you hear Crimson Throne's new song. No.
And ironically, this ball started rolling for me because I watched the Crimson Throne episode.
There it is, right there.
The
Boom.
Dots have connected.
Just so happens that Matt's on the show. Yeah, that's great. I love it. I love this stuff. You were episode 311, which was one of my favorite bands back in the day. Also, so that's another connection if you want to reference that.
Wow, I haven't heard of them in a long time.
I know. Just The Offspring put out a new album. I listened to it. It's The Offspring.
Offspring to me died after Ixnay on the Ombre.
I agree with that.
For me, it was Smash. Smash was.
Well, yeah, Smash. Yeah, Smash.
Smash is all time. Yeah.
I had that on cassette on my Walkman. Yeah. I listened to that back to back to back to back to back.
Yep. I used to listen to that while skateboarding before I stopped skateboarding and started picking up an instrument. But
and a hacky sack.
Offspring and lots of punk rock and Suicidal Tendencies, all that kind of stuff.
That's one thing we didn't talk about was like influence and stuff. But come back to the show. Bring some of the band members if you'd like, and we'll do it again.
We can. It's hard. It's hard to do it.
Yeah.
Just because so many different things that have to fall in line for that. But I've done it once or twice. Maybe I can. Maybe
you guys have plans
3 times.
You have plans for touring at all?
No, we can't. We all live in different states, unfortunately.
Yeah. We can just all meet at one spot. Like find a spot that's halfway for everybody and just meet.
Right there. Maybe we can all just jam in our rooms and have a Zoom concert.
Yes. It's possible.
Hey,
I've had bands on there that never even met in person.
I've had my friend Costa, I should say, has done it with his band Hatred. He does the lead guitar work on our album. Hatred is actually the vocalist of Exodus. That's his new band, by the way, Zetro. But so Hatred, they've done online shows through Zoom before. Well, I think they did that during COVID. So they did.
Yeah, so they've really upgraded the Zoom platform with being able to do that, and then going live with it on live streaming it.
I mean, yeah, I have a forest behind me.
and people didn't see this because we weren't live yet, but he got up and went to the restroom and disappeared into the forest. It was terrific.
I walked away, and then I emerged from Lord of the Rings.
We're going to play the show out tonight with a band that I saw in Charlotte this weekend, and they were phenomenal. I hope to get them on pretty soon. They're called Sway, SWAE. If you'd like to look them up, they have an EP out called Mirrors, and the song we're going to listen to is Mirrors. Josh, thanks again for being on, man, and Matt, thanks for co-hosting. Both of you come back and just do the show, and I can just take a break. Just talk to each other. Just do a show and just talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't mind coming back. That'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll do it, man. Here is Sway with Mirrors, and I will see everybody at this point on the 20th at 7 p.m. with Tom in London, and Bo will be right here, probably on the side beside me, and we'll see what kind of hats Tom has this year, and we'll just talk about Christmas for an hour. That sounds lame. No, I got some stuff planned. I got some surprises, and there's a surprise involving me and Bo. It's not what you think, Matt. Tom doesn't know about it, so I can't say it on the show. But it's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a lot more fun than it's been in the previous years. Just it'll be more than talking about lawnmowers. Me and Tom did that for a while on one of them. They have different lawnmowers in London. They don't call it mowing the yard. They call it the garden, which is strange.
And they don't call garages. They're garages. Garage.
Yeah. And they drive on the wrong side of the road, which is very strange. I mean, and Tom's a driving instructor too, so I mentioned that a lot on the show. Anyway, here's Sway with Mirrors. Happy holidays. I will see you on the 20th. Have a good one.
The ghost I held so dark.